Your dog has already made one decision about you. A decision that shapes how safe they feel around you. And once that feeling is formed, it can stay with them for life. Most owners never realize it is happening. Because the one thing your dog never forgets is not a command. Not a place. Not even your face. It is something much deeper than that. And by the time this video ends, you will understand the quiet decision your dog made long ago. And how that decision shapes every interaction you have today. What if everything you thought you knew about your dog's memory was backwards? You teach them sit, and they learn it. You move the furniture, and they pause for a moment. You leave for a week, and they still explode with joy when you return. So it is easy to assume your dog remembers events like a timeline. But here is the truth most people miss. Your dog does not replay the past the way you do. They do not hold grudges over last Tuesday. They do not miss the old house. What they remember is how you made them feel. That is the one thing that never leaves them. We are going to look at 3 quiet signs that reveal exactly what your dog is holding on to. The first sign is the one most owners see every single day and completely misunderstand. And once you recognize it, you will never see your dog's stillness the same way again. Your dog gets up and moves away from you. You sit beside them on the couch. And within a minute, they stand up, stretch, and settle somewhere else. You reach down to pat their head. And they duck slightly, then walk a few steps away. You call them over, and they come. But they stop just out of arm's reach. Owners explain this away. He is just independent. She is not a cuddly dog. That is just their personality. And look, sometimes that is true. Some dogs genuinely prefer their own space. But a pattern is not random. If your dog consistently creates distance when you approach, they are not being aloof. They are making a quiet calculation based on past experience. This is what researchers call an emotional memory imprint. Dr. Gregory Burns at Emory University found that dogs' brains respond to familiar humans with strong activation in the caudate nucleus, the region associated with positive anticipation. But here is the part that matters. Dogs learn emotional patterns remarkably quickly. When interactions repeatedly feel uncertain or unpredictable, they begin adjusting their behavior around those expectations. Your dog is not deciding they dislike you. They are deciding that approaching you has felt uncertain before. Here is where most people make it worse. They reach harder. They follow the dog. They grab for affection. That only confirms to the dog that their choice to move away was correct. Instead, do the opposite. Stop moving toward them. Sit down. Turn your body slightly away. Yawn. Look at the ceiling. Let the approach come from them. Watch for this. The ear flick. The head turn. The single step closer. That small move is their question. Am I safe now? What you thought was distance is not rejection. What it actually is a test of trust. And trust takes time to rebuild in inches. That was the first sign. But the second one is much quieter. And it fools the most devoted owners. Because it looks exactly like good behavior. It looks like patience. It looks like calm. And it is one of the most heartbreaking things to misread. Your dog stops asking for anything. They lie quietly in their bed while you cook dinner. They do not nudge your hand for a pat. They do not bring you a toy and drop it in your lap. They do not follow you from room to room. They just wait. Owners often mistake this for calmness. But sometimes, it is something very different. From the dog's perspective, they have learned that asking leads to nothing, or worse, leads to irritation. So eventually, they stop asking. They do not stop loving you. They stop believing their signals matter. This is where the science of learned helplessness becomes something you can see in your own living room. When a dog's bids for connection are consistently ignored or punished, their brain adapts by suppressing the urge to initiate entirely. They are not relaxed. They have simply stopped expecting a response. The wrong response is to feel relieved. Oh good, they are finally calm. That relief is the trap. The counterintuitive solution is to start noticing absence. As loudly as you notice behavior, watch for the smallest reemergence. A single nose boop against your leg. A paw lifted onto your knee. A soft whine by the door. When you see that micro moment of asking, drop everything. Not for long. 3 seconds of full attention. Eye contact. A gentle scratch behind the ear. A quiet good girl. Then go back to what you were doing. You are not rewarding bad behavior. You are telling a dog who had given up that their voice still works. If this is changing the way you see your own dog right now, let that sink in for a second. Because that stillness may not be peace at all. Sometimes it is a dog waiting without expecting anything in return. And you have the power to change that. That was the second sign. And the third sign is different. Because this one does not happen when your dog moves away. And it does not happen when they stop asking. It happens during the quiet moments in between. The third sign is so small that most owners miss it completely. Your dog keeps checking where you are. Your dog is lying comfortably in another room. Everything seems normal. Then suddenly, they lift their head. Maybe they glance toward the doorway. Maybe they quietly walk into the room where you are. Maybe they simply look up for a second before settling back down again. Most people assume their dog is bored. Or curious. Or looking for food. But something much deeper is happening. Dogs do not constantly check on people they simply live with. They check on the people who help them feel safe. Researchers studying attachment behavior have found that many dogs use trusted humans as a secure base, much like a young child relies on a parent. Your dog is not checking your location. They are checking their safety. Every glance asks the same silent question. Are you still here? And every time the answer is yes, something important happens. Their nervous system relaxes. Their body settles. Their world makes sense again. What looks like a tiny glance is often a sign of enormous trust. Because your dog has learned something through hundreds of ordinary moments. When you are nearby, things tend to be okay. Think about that. Every calm evening. Every gentle interaction. Every time you showed up when they needed reassurance. Every ordinary moment that told them they were safe. Their brain quietly stored it away. Not as a memory of a specific day. But as a feeling. A feeling that says, I am safer when this person is here. And that feeling can last a lifetime. That is the memory that never leaves. So what does your dog never forget? Not the mistake you made last week. Not the walk you skipped 3 months ago. They remember the emotional weather of being near you. They remember if approaching you feels warm or if it feels like a gamble. They remember if your hands are usually kind or usually rushed. For many of you watching this, the bond is already there. Your dog already trusts you. But here is the hopeful turn. Even the oldest wounds can be rewritten with repeated, predictable, small moments of safety. Because every relationship eventually becomes a feeling. And for your dog, that feeling becomes home. From their side, the question is not what did you do yesterday? The question is simpler than that. Can I rest here now? Will you notice me when I need you? When I come to you, will you see it? And when I'm asking for help, will you understand? If something scares me, will you help me feel safe again afterwards? Those are not dramatic questions. They are survival ones. And you get to answer them today. Not with grand gestures. With the pause before you reach for them. With the 3 seconds of attention you give when they finally ask. With the calm reassurance they find when they come looking for you. That is what trust looks like. We do not do basic tips here. We translate the silent language your dog has been speaking their whole life. Next time, I will show you the one moment every day where your dog is actually asking you something, and most owners miss it without realizing. It happens within the first 60 seconds of you walking through the door. If this changed the way you see your dog, subscribe. Because your dog is always asking something. The only question is whether you are listening. And I want to hear about your dog too. What is the smallest thing they do that tells you they trust you? Something so small you almost missed it. Tell me in the comments. Until next time, keep listening.